Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Tuesday, the 29th day of January. Here we go. Usually, you probably know that the way we always set up our brachos is such that the bracha happens right before the mitzvah or the pleasure. Like right before you enjoy the orange, you make a borei pri ha'etz. Right before you drink, you say shahakol niyeh b'dvaro. Also, right before you put on your tefillin, you make a bracha on your tefillin. Right before that shel yad gets tightened onto your arm, that's when you make the bracha. Also, right before you stand up the esrog in its proper position, that's when you make the bracha. You actually hold the esrog upside down, make the bracha, and then flip it into the right position gently, right after you make the bracha. So it's always bracha then mitzvah, or bracha then benefit. Now, today's example looks like an exception, and that is when we wash our hands before bread. There, we wash our hands, and then we make the bracha afterwards. So why do we do that? I'm going to try to explain that to you now. Actually, it only looks like an exception, but it really isn't. It's really following the exact same rule as all of the others. I'll explain why. You see, we don't want to make the bracha of al natilas yadayim while our hands are still unclean. We would rather wash them first to make them clean and pure, and then make the bracha afterwards. And that still is within the rule and the guidelines of bracha first then mitzvah. I'll tell you why, because here's the catch, just in case I lost you. Here's the kicker. We make the bracha, and right afterwards we dry our hands, and drying your hands is the completion of the mitzvah of natilas yadayim. So we wash our hands first so they could be pure for the bracha, then we make the bracha, and then we complete the mitzvah by drying our hands. And when you do it that way, you're actually keeping in step with the proper order that we always do. Bracha then mitzvah, or bracha then benefit. And but it is important for you to note, and a lot of people forget this, they all kind of mush them together and say the bracha while they're drying their hands, and that's not exactly correct. You hold your hands up wet so that the water doesn't run, because it's actually run down your wrists would be appropriate, not the dirty water like kind of rolling back onto your hands. So you hold your hands up, you make the bracha while they're still wet, and then you say then you do the drying, so that the completion of the mitzvah happens right after the bracha. That's the way natilas yadayim is supposed to be done. Thanks for logging on, and log on tomorrow again for more. Bye bye.